My name is Janelle Rettig. I'm a member of the Johnson County Board of Supervisors. I'm in the end of my first term. Johnson County Supervisors serve for 4 years, and this is the end of my first term. I'm running for re-election. I'd appreciate one of your votes. During those 4 years, I've been very active in a number of things, from financial policies, to reserve policies, to best practices and financial policies, creating a finance department. I've also been very involved in infrastructure, creating a road improvement plan and a road maintenance plan, pushing conservation efforts. I've also been a very big champion of human services in helping our agencies, partnering agencies, and people who are in need in our community. The first term has went so fast. I don't know where the 4 years have gone, but I've very much enjoyed my term in office. I think maybe it's a good time for people to know a little bit more about me who may not have known me in the past. When I came to Iowa City about 25 years ago, we actually came, like many people, as graduate students, and then chose to just make this our home. I later went on and worked for Congressman Leach, owned a small business, and dealt with a devastating illness. When I was in that illness, I even more so grew my appreciation for how wonderful this community is. I simply think Johnson County is the best place on earth to live. But that doesn't mean we don't have our challenges. We face a growing population, and many people in that population come here in need of services. And quite frankly, our services haven't kept up with the level of growth. Our infrastructure hasn't kept up, our buildings haven't kept up, our roads haven't kept up, and our social service programs haven't kept up. So while we celebrate this wonderful community and county we live in, we need to keep in mind how important it is to continue to develop programs to help those that are less fortunate and those who come with broader diversity than we used to have. To that regard, if I'm elected to a second term in office, I really think one of the things we have to focus on is how to manage that growth in such a way that everyone is welcome here. No matter where you came from, no matter what your economic status, your disability, or diversity you bring here, that you're welcome in our community and that we have programming and offering to make this a place that you want to stay. I think human services have simply just not kept up with the times. Inflation has drastically cut what the county is able to donate to local agencies. Johnson County donates about a little under $1.2 million to local partnering agencies, but that's not keeping up with inflation. So if I'm allowed a second term, one of the things I'm going to focus on is how do we increase the amount of money going to our partnering agencies. I also think we have to very much focus on the infrastructure. We have a few aging buildings, and while we've begun to make progress on that, 2 main buildings remain. That's the courthouse and jail. We put those to a bond referendum, the last 2 in the last year, and previously to that there was one about 13 years ago. While those last 2 received the majority of votes, they didn't get to 60%. The challenges at the courthouse and the jail remain. I think the people of Johnson County need to understand that the security and safety of the courthouse and jail still remain. And to that regard, I think we should focus on one project. And so I'm very much interested in focusing on a courthouse annex, and I think that will help drive down the jail population, and that may allow us to delay an expansion of the jail for coming years. I also think we have to keep up with the maintenance of roads and infrastructure. While we've done a good job at that, there's just not enough money in the road use tax fund. So I think every penny that Johnson County can but add to roads in infrastructure is very important. If you've been out driving, you know that our roads are deteriorating, and roads and bridges have embargoes on them. Also, to manage all this growth, we simply have to find the most efficiency we possibly can in our financial practices. To that regard, I'm very happy that we created a finance department last year, and I think that finance department will be instrumental in how we manage the growth of this county and we make this a welcoming place, but we do so in a financially responsible way. I believe that we can squeeze more efficiency out of the county by cross-training employees, by job sharing, and by eliminating positions that no longer serve in the role as attrition happens, so that we can better put resources into the programs that are growing every single day. Additionally, I think that Johnson County has to continue to invest in our quality of life. I believe this is the best place on the planet to live, but our air quality, our water quality, climate change, all of those things are impacting our quality of life here. And so I think we need to continue to invest in conservation and recreation. Wetlands, woodlands, prairies, trails, all of those things make our quality of life strong here. So I hope that while we're talking about infrastructure, we keep in mind that the infrastructure of conservation and recreation are important to us also. I've been a resident of Johnson County for 25 years. I'm not going anywhere. I believe that our quality of life here is so strong, but without strong leadership, it simply is in jeopardy every single day. We have to embrace our diversity, embrace people who come here with needs, and find out a way to live here and continue our quality of life, keeping this the best place for anyone to come. It's important that you get out and vote. Many of our local elections have a very small turnout, and that puts all the power in the hands of a few people. I hope you'll get out and vote this year in both the primary and the general. Thank you for your time today. Again, my name is Janelle Rettig. You can learn more about me at www.janellerettig.com. And my cell phone is 319-330-0916. 330-0916. Call or email or text me at any time with any questions you may have. Thank you for your time.